Thanks for joining me on the Athlete Highlight. Um, I wanted to start by asking you a little bit about who you are and a bit about your running background.
Um, my name is Michael Norton. A little bit of running background. I did a little bit of running in high school for a very short time. I did the 800. Um, it was fun. I think I only did it for about a year. And then I started running again in later in my adult life in around 2016 or 2017. I just decided, that I wanted to do it. And I was I wasn't really following any training plans or anything like that. I was just running during the week, and then I would find a local 5K, and I would just do the 5K, and I would do them. I think over the course, like 2016, I had done like I think six 5Ks, like back to back to back to back. It was insane. I wasn't getting any better, but I was running around pretty much the same time each one. I tried a 10K during that time, and then it kind of stopped because I had gotten married in 2016, and then I had my son in 2017. So kind of family took over, and I didn't start running again until 2021. I started that up, and it started off good, and this was all around the time of COVID, and my wife got COVID. So running had to take a little back seat for a while because she was in the hospital for about a month, close to a month.
Wow.
So luckily she survived that, but it was still a couple months after that trying to get her rehabilitated, as far as getting back to 100%. And yeah, I think that would be around close to 20, the end of 21 to 2022. I did the Disney 5K. My wife did the Disney 5K just a couple months after being in the hospital with COVID,
Wow.
which, yeah, that amazing. And then I decided to do I think that year, 2022, a half marathon, my first. I'd never done one here locally. I did that and loved it, did pretty well. And decided after that that I wanted to do a full marathon. So following year, which 2023, I did my first uh, full marathon and did pretty good. Ended up in the hospital after it, but I did finish. And then a couple months after that, I did another half marathon and I PR'd in that. So it's definitely finding my niche and in these longer distance races. And I think after that, shortly after that, I did my first trail race. It was a 10K, called the Conestoga Crusher, and that was hard, but it was fun. I just wanted to do something different other than a road race, and then decided I wanted to do another marathon because I wanted to tackle trying to get a BQ. And my whole envision, goal for the next 10 years is doing finishing all six major marathons. And hopefully I can accomplish that. And that led to in 2023, I found White Mountain uh, Endurance. And it was on a trip that my wife and son, we went up to New Hampshire and had saw your van. I can't remember where it was. It was at a hotel not far from, gosh, where was it? I don't know because I don't know much around there. Um, was near Mount Washington. I know that.
Technical, there we go, technical difficulties.
Yeah. I lost internet. That's
Lost
what it
internet.
was.
So we left off with you saw my car at a
Yes.
hotel.
Yeah, it was gosh, I don't remember the name. It was near Mount Washington. It almost looked, it kind of reminded me like of Fort Wilderness at Disney Springs, that type of hotel. It was near a lake. Gosh, I don't know. My wife would know right away. Um, and so saw that there, and about a month or two later, I think is when I contacted you and everything and told you, about me and what I wanted to accomplish and all that kind of stuff. And so the beginning of November 2023 is when we started training. Um, Albeit I had a couple of injuries, or one injury at the time, and we fixed that, and then I got into another injury. But so I was training for my second marathon with you, and which just finished up here about a week and a half ago or so, and I BQ'd. uh, and yeah, that's one thing down. I got that, and then I'm actually going to be running the Chicago Marathon for the charity Chai Parks. So I'll be running the 2024 Chicago Marathon.
Okay, that's gonna be
Yeah,
awesome.
yes, there's a lot of things happening.
So what's been your favorite part about training?
Uh, the favorite part of it thing about this whole training cycle is it's been completely different. We've had to adjust because of the injuries. The cross training, the riding the bike, even though sometimes I don't get along with the bike, it definitely has helped. The zone two training has been a game changer. Just everything, adding the more strength training, I've loved it all, and to see the process that has happened, these past 4 months has been amazing. Like I think everything has been great about it. I kind of measure success as the build up in the process to your goal. So your goal isn't really like that race that you do good. That's not success to me. It's the success is all just everything to get to there. And every little thing that you do is what makes it happen. So, and without that, you wouldn't be successful. You have to work at it to get there. And I think just everything, this whole zone two training has been really exciting to me because I've seen it work. I mean, it's the proof is in the pudding.
But it's frustrating when you start and every single person complains about it in the beginning. It's
Yeah, yeah. 'Cause, at first I wasn't sure like what it was going to be like because I'm not used to this type of training. But I think definitely this whole training cycle has been fantastic, and I think that's what I loved about it most because it's in a way it's out of the box, outside the box for me than what I've tried to do before. So,
so what, well, we know some of your challenges, but what challenges did you face during training? You had two hiccups.
few hiccups, yeah. So going into it, I had done a 5K in October of 2023. Um, and after that, I mean, I did good in it, but it just wasn't what I wanted. And I was almost kind of in a downward spiral from the training I was doing for that 5K. And when I started training with you, I had plantar fasciitis, and that was terrible. And so it took like almost that whole month of November to get rid of that. But then after that, then I had the stress fracture. So then that was another month. So November, December, it was active recovery training type thing. But I overcame that. It wasn't easy. It was challenging for sure. Um,
You
as
made peace
nothing.
with the bike.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That bike, man, I tell you what, glad I have it. But holy cow, it's a pain in the butt. Oh, because I've done things on the bike now. You have me do things on the bike that I've actually, it's not just like riding a bike, it's doing some hard work on it. But it's paid off. So
And I'm impressed with your bike riding, by the way, for not being a bike rider. You had some really, really good bike rides.
thanks. Try my best.
So what would you say was your best race experience?
Man. Best race experience. I mean, I have a couple. Definitely this last one was really special. The first or my second full marathon and BQing and everything. But there was two. I guess the first one would be the first time I PR'd, and it was just in a 5K, and it was amazing. Um, because I had never done it before. Um, and yeah, it was just a great feeling. And then there was the half marathon that I did last year. Um, and I had PR'd in that. Um, but after it, with my son, he's 7 now. So at the time he was 6 years old. But at the end, a lady came up to him. There was a couple of ladies, I guess they were friends and everything. And the one lady gave him her half marathon medal.
That's awesome.
And to see his face, like just lit up, because that race, he actually got to pick my bib number because they don't, however, they just have a stack of bibs. And when you go to your bib pickup, whatever bib is there, well, he's a negotiator and he, he got to pick my bib number, which was, I think it was 1111. And so that was special. And then him getting that medal, and seeing his face, because he didn't run the half marathon, so he was just elated. Like, yeah, he was he was definitely happy about that. So that was probably the top special moment um, in all my racing.
That's incredible. My goodness. So what would you say your toughest training experience was, whether it was mentally or physically?
Um, this last cycle, the depletion run was my toughest because I've never done that. It was a long, it was a long run, but it was, I guess you had called it like a depletion run. And to not be able to have a lot of food the night before, like you would normally do before, a long run, and even the morning of, like mentally that was hard. And I mean, I I got it done. I don't remember if I got it done. I think I got it done fairly well, but it's mentally that works on you because you're starving. But I see what it why you have it implemented in the training. So I think that would be my hardest
Yeah.
one.
And athletes like to eat, so definitely that's a tough one.
Yeah, especially on a long run. Yeah, you're the only to have water. That's all I had on that run was water. And I don't even remember, I forgot how long the run was. I think it was like 2 hours. It was a 2 hour depletion
Yeah.
run. Yeah. Uh,
And when you're out on your runs, what are your voices usually saying in your head? What are you thinking about?
um I try to encourage myself like with certain mantras. Yeah, a lot of the long runs I do like listen to podcasts. Um, I don't listen to a lot of music just so listening to podcasts, it's a little bit different because it's just like one, it's like a monotone, it's just one level, you know. It's not going to make you go fast or slow. You could just cruise with it. Uh, and but on those longer runs, you know, I still try to talk to myself and have certain mantras because just to kind of encourage yourself along the way because it's not always easy, especially winter training is really hard. With it being cold, it's pretty insane. And I remember it was it was December of 2022. Yeah. Um, when I was training for my first marathon, I had a run. I forgot how long it was. I think it was a longer run, but the weather outside, it was a negative 11 degrees. But I still had to get it done. So I ran in negative 11 degrees, and I'd never done that before. But trying to talk to myself through that to finish that was hard.
That's anything below 0 is extremely hard.
Yeah, yeah, mentally challenging for sure.
So I do wanna circle back to your injury, like, talk about the emotional piece of how you dealt with it, managed it, and I mean, you dealt with it like a champ, but, emotionally, there are things that go on.
It was hard, um, going through because my ultimate goal, like, you know, I knew when I started training with you, I was kind of devastated. Like, this is not how I wanted this to go because actually, in my last marathon training, I couldn't train for like a month, and there was no active training in that. So had only trained for that marathon on it was 11 or 12 weeks. That was it. Um, and that was hard. But going into this, it's like starting with you. And so mentally, I was like already down because I'm coming to you with an injury and like making your hands full, you know, already right off the bat. And it was hard. It's hard to get through things like that because you don't, to yourself, you're thinking when is this going to be over? And when am I going to be able to run? You know, am I going to make it to whatever you have going, the race? In my case, it was the marathon. Um, and then so after we had got done with that plantar fasciitis, then I got hit with that stress fracture. And so it's like it was just doubling down on me. And it really works with you mentally. It breaks you down to, you know, think that you're nothing and that you can't do it. But it's as long as you can persevere um, through it all and overcome, there is like light at the end, and that's kind of I would try to tell myself, you know, that and just keep on trucking. I mean, I have this drive in me that just doesn't want to quit or give up. So basically doing whatever I have to do um, to get to the end.
And you did so well with not being able to run and just focusing on cross training to get yourself healed, healthy, and then you really didn't have a lot of time to train by running for your race. So, again, you did really well.
Yeah, it's kind of it's mind blowing to know that like a month of that, or actually I think even maybe slightly a
It was
little
almost
more.
8 weeks. It was
Yeah, bike riding versus running is not something I've heard of or anyway, you know, like yes, I understand people cross train and all that, but basically training for a marathon, just riding the bike, that's kind of what it boiled down to. I mean, yes, it paid off. I don't know if it paid off all the time, but yes, it definitely did this time.
Yeah. So I know you said a couple of your future goals, but what are your future goals?
Um, so I would like to, I had mentioned, to get the 6-star medal to finish all 6 major marathons by the time that I'm 50 years old. I turned 40 in August, so that gives me 10 years um, to hopefully accomplish that. There's uh, I want to do the Broken Arrow Sky Race next year. Next summer, I guess it's every June. But I forgot how many. I think it's a 46K.
I think
So
so.
yeah, it's like the big one. They have multiple ones, which is that's 30 some miles, I think. So yeah, want to do that. My wife is actually going to be doing the smaller version, her and
That's awesome.
a friend of ours. Yeah, so they're gonna do that one, and I want to do the bigger one. So that'll be quite the challenge. So that's kind of on the radar. And I would like to do somewhere in the future, I would like to do uh the Mount Washington, the
Yeah,
auto
the road race.
well actually yeah, the road one and the race the cod.
Okay, that'd be a fun combo.
Yes, yes. So those are kind of big ambition.
Both are hard in their very own ways.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but hopefully they look fun to me. It's something different, other than I started trail racing or not racing, but just running trails last definitely a lot more last summer. And it's just a whole different thing than road running. It I don't know, it's you throw the pace out the window. Sometimes you don't have to worry about pace all the time, but it's just I don't know, so much fun.
Playful.
Yeah. Exactly. So I enjoy it. That 10K trail that I did, that was a whole different I was way out of my element, but it was fun. So I definitely like to do a lot more trail stuff too. So
Definitely a lot of fun. And has your experience been like working with me?
it's been truly special and amazing, eye-opening. Um, uh, the belief that you have in your athletes is awe-inspiring. Um, it's wonderful to have somebody to talk to, and the experience that you have and the experience that um, and inspiration that you can give us is second to none. Like I don't know, it's truly amazing. And to know that you're pretty much there all the time for us. You may not get back to us and right off the bat, but uh, as soon as you can, if we have a question or something like that, like when I was feeling the post marathon blues and everything else, and I reached out to you about that, like it's just you instill something in us that and show us what we are capable of. So more than what we tend to think that we are, because a lot of us don't think that we're that great, but you show us that we are. And yeah, and I
Now
mean,
you're gonna make me cry
I could go on and on.
because you guys are great.
Yeah, no, it's it's truly amazing. Like it's yeah, I don't know. I found my coach.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
And I just want to finish by asking, like, for anyone watching, what piece of advice would you give to somebody who's just starting out with running?
it's going to be hard in the beginning. Uh, but if you have dreams, don't give up on them. Um, it takes work to make that dream come true, but dreams do come true. Just be consistent, drive, 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 and believe in yourself, believe in the process, trust the process, and in all of the process, you're doing that. You can also do that to inspire others. So that's, yeah,
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much. I really think you have a lot of good information and definitely an inspiration for a lot of people.
thank you so much. Thank you for
Okay.
everything.
Thank you.